listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. Make yourself famous. A podcast covering all things WWE.
I have now returned to save the WWE.
NXT.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
And AEW.
Holy wrestling. I couldn't be more happy.
Here are your hosts, Kyle Gagliardi and Jim Tucker.
What is going on, everyone? You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, hosted by the Marks, for the Marks. I am your host, Kyle Gagliardi, as always, joined by my good friend, Jim Tucker, or as I like to call him, Jiggy!
What's going on, Kyle?
Tuck, it's Thursday, February, 27?
Yeah.
February 27th, there was a showdown, I guess we could say, that happened today.
A super one.
I know we said on Twitter we were just going to talk about AEW, but it's kind of big news. And I know you know about this because you were trying to avoid spoilers, right? You were working.
I was trying my best. I was trying my best to avoid spoilers with Super Showdown. I planned on getting back to it and watching it. But
spoiler alert, if you're listening, we're about to spoil something.
Hit the 30-second button 3-4 times. Yeah, a couple, because it's not even we're not even going to do the breaking news thing. Like, we're about to talk about something that happened at Super Showdown. If you lived under a rock and you've been out of the Twitter sphere,
if you stayed away from this,
I was slapped in the face by it from multiple angles. Like, I got it from like every direction. It was worse than some of the stuff our friends watch on the internet. Like,
I was doing good with Twitter. I was avoiding everything because I worked up into the main event, which was Goldberg versus the Fiend.
Yep.
We all know how that went, but I was able to rewatch some of the show. Nothing special, so no spoilers there for you because I know you're still planning on rewatching it.
Yep.
But the main event, Goldberg versus The Fiend. Once I saw this was going on last, I got a text from Aaron. He's like, yeah, Goldberg and The Fiend main eventing. I was kind of skeptical at that point.
Yeah. You can understand the draw from the Fiend side of things. You know, you put the Fiend on last, but you also had
he also
Brock
won
Lesnar.
that title there in that
right.
Saudi.
Yeah, so that kind of makes sense. But then you also they gave a little bit more of a push to the Brock Lesnar Ricochet thing, whether you believed in it or not, and
I
nobody did. But
still don't know what happened in that match, but I'm assuming Brock Lesnar retained.
Yeah, no comment. It's probably more entertaining than the main event. But
do you know all the results then?
I do.
Okay, so you saw what happened with, we can talk about this then. You saw what happened with AJ Styles?
Yes.
Undertaker shows up, wins the whole thing just by choke slamming him.
Mm-hmm.
Undertaker versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Thoughts?
I'm okay with that. You could do much worse. I think that'll be a good one. I think AJ will kind of get Undertaker in a spot to make him look good because he's such a good worker.
Yep.
So I think that one will be entertaining. I don't get behind a lot of these Legends matches because it's olds running around trying to keep the stamina. They don't have the pace. You know, you're not going to get a banger of a match. You know, and the Undertaker pop is cool, but I do think that they'll get to go a little bit. So
I think AJ's that perfect competitor for Undertaker at this age. Like you were saying, he'll be able to do most of the work in this match and make Undertaker look good. And it's like what you have always talked about with Brock Lesnar and the Littles. It's that small and big dynamic, and sometimes that makes the best matches. So that was probably the coolest thing that happened at Super Showdown. Undertaker making his presence known. We're probably going to see the Phenomenal One versus the Dead Man at the grandest stage of them all. But you know who else going to see at WrestleMania? Universal Champion Goldberg.
Yeah, fuck.
No, that's honestly it. Just fuck.
Like,
So we were trying. Let me just say this: we were trying to do something new today, and we still kind of are. But for the first time in our show's history, we plan on just talking about straight AEW, and that's it.
Yeah.
But this happened. This booking decision happened. Just give me your thoughts initially before we get into our plugs and everything, because this is the thing that's most fresh. We're recording this literally 2 hours after it happened.
Yeah. I mean, you understand the booking side of it, going into it.
Do you though?
Yeah, Goldberg, you get a big name on the card. Give Saudi Mania something to look forward to. The issue is like, what do you do? What do you do now? Because
Roman,
I guess the only thing that can happen would be I'm kind of crossing my fingers from a rematch of those two at Elimination Chamber to make it bang. But you could have put a Fiend build up in a powder keg and really set it off at WrestleMania, and now you have millions of disgruntled fans. Like multiple people agreed to this somewhere in production. They're like, "Yep, we're gonna," or maybe not. I mean, Vince trumps.
He's
but,
the be all see all, yeah,
right?
See
but
all,
like,
be all, whatever.
You know, the AJ Styles Undertaker thing, that's great because it gets us a nice pairing at WrestleMania.
Never seen it before.
There are no major title implications. It's a stroll down memory lane. Cool. You can put that anywhere on the card except for the top,
right?
And it's enjoyable. The thing where you get into trouble is now you have a 53-year-old lethargic fucking
guy that knows how to spear and do a piss poor jackhammer.
His moveset is tiny. And he can't.
Goldberg's 53, like you said, a 2-time Universal Champion now. The fact that we are saying he's a 2-time Universal Champion, and this is a criticism you get all the time from WWE. They're afraid to make new stars. Mm-hmm. They rely on these older guys to bring into these shows and hold a title. Brock Lesnar's been champion for how long these past 5 years?
Yeah, cue up that Sandlot. Forever.
So now we're getting Goldberg, who took care of the Fiend in less than 3 minutes. I know you haven't seen it yet. You saw the jackhammer. Mm-hmm. 4 spears, 1, and I'm going to put air quotes over this, jackhammer.
I saw the jackhammer, watched that a number of times, and...
You think Wyatt was no-selling that?
It didn't look to me like he was trying to get up. I didn't see a push off the mat. But, you know, WWE is having significant trouble making stars, making the mega stars. Like, who do they have selling John Cena level merch when he was in his prime? You couldn't go when he was hot. You couldn't go anywhere. Is the Fiend the
closest thing right now?
Yeah, but he's less marketable because of his edge, right? They don't have that good face, like strap it up to the kids. You can't
Roman
see
Reigns
me type thing. Roman Reigns is there, but he's, you know,
it's not the Cena level.
No, and now they're going back to the well to bring some of these guys back, but like they have Drew McIntyre could be that.
I think we're getting there with Drew.
I hope so.
Yeah, we can only hope at WrestleMania that's his moment. But we put in, or I shouldn't say we because we didn't do it, but the WWE itself and Bray Wyatt put in probably years, if not months, of work to get to this spot. The Fiend has become this entity, this attraction, this thing you don't get on every single show. The 2-sided, you know, Mr. Rogers and then the demon side. All of that work just goes down the drain now.
Yeah.
All it takes is 4 spears and 1 lousy jackhammer, and that fucking 53-year-old worthless piece of shit Goldberg is now the face of your company alongside Brock Lesnar, who I get more respect to Brock because he shows up.
And he'll work. The Royal Rumble was a thing.
Great Royal Rumble showing from Brock Lesnar. What has Goldberg done to deserve this moment?
About nothing. Now, this is going to have the impact on us in 5-10 years. It's going to be one of those moments we don't forget, but not because of a positive angle.
You'll be like, you remember when The Fiend was so cool and, you know, he had his own belt and everything and he went to Saudi where he won the title and then he lost to Goldberg? Mm-hmm. So where do you go from here? Obviously, I brought up Roman Reigns with Goldberg. Where do you see The Fiend's direction going, or do you think he gets that rematch?
Well, they got it right after Seth beat The Fiend in Hell in a Cell, and then they finally got to that.
Well, also, how does that make Seth and Daniel Bryan look? That Goldberg took care of The Fiend that much, and Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan put so much work and energy into that feud? Mm-hmm. If you're going to have The Fiend lose, why didn't Daniel Bryan just take it from him?
It would have been more credible. It would have been more credible. And then there's that angle. You know you're going to get another good match, you know.
Because, that match at Royal Rumble was great.
It was a great match.
What's Daniel Bryan doing right now?
Being pissed off.
doing nothing.
About Goldberg with a strap. I don't.
How do you think that locker room feels? Because we see Twitter right now, and then I even went off on a rant. I go, let's just go down my Twitter at @2SweetKyle if you're not following me.
Too sweet.
I said, good thing we have AEW Revolution Saturday because this is a goddamn joke. That was one.
Yep.
Robbie Fox from Barstool, he had a very good tweet. There you go. All that hoopla over the Fiend was to put over a 53-year-old with a vertical suplex.
Yeah, yep.
I said, WWE is lucky they still have NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. And this was a good tweet. I hate this guy. He's you've probably seen him on Twitter, a lot of you, at JD from NY206. He's like considers himself like an insider. I don't give a shit who you are or what your opinion is. There is no way you can justify what we just seen. Imagine being Bray Wyatt. Concept this entire character, put in all this work, the hours, the ideas, the creation, the execution, and you lose to 53-year-old Bill Goldberg.
How did he even walk down the ramp? You know, again,
he's lucky he has the mask on.
Well, you know, I want to see The Office that this was broken down to him. Like, hey, bud, just have a seat real quick. We're gonna let Bill take it tonight.
Here's the thing: we're gonna fly 16 hours.
Yeah,
all the way.
Yeah. On top of that, thank you for flying 16 hours. All we need, we just need 3 minutes. Doesn't have to be a tight set.
He put in one mandible claw. That was his offense,
and quickly got out. Yeah,
it's frustrating. So. I can't even say it makes sense. I usually do.
I don't even want to see the rematch. Somebody else has to take it off of Goldberg so the Fiend can come back.
Yeah, I think there's only two options: Roman Reigns and John Cena.
Do they play the double angle where the Fiend has lost the title and Bray Wyatt is still strapped?
No, because they had you didn't see it. They had the blue belt there, like Goldberg.
Oh yeah.
Goldberg held up the blue belt, which was what quote unquote Bray Wyatt was holding the whole time, not the Fiend. So I don't think you could go that route. I think the only route you can look.
Did he bring out the Fiend belt?
He brought out the Fiend belt.
Oh, okay.
So obviously somewhere either underneath the ring, somebody ringside had the blue belt.
Mm-hmm.
But it's either John Cena or Roman Reigns for me. I don't know if you can think of anybody else that would face Goldberg at WrestleMania.
No, because McIntyre's squarely staring Brock Lesnar in the face. You know,
it's got to be somebody on SmackDown.
Oh yeah, and that too.
And that's John Cena, who is returning tomorrow as we're recording this. He's returning on the 28th. But I think they go the route of John Cena and The Fiend now. Maybe John Cena returns tomorrow and The Fiend goes after him.
Yeah.
But it just kind of sucks because we had such a good run with The Fiend. I get the criticism that he never really needed the title.
Right, but he had the title.
Yeah, exactly.
They gave him the title.
That's the point, yeah.
Don't put it on him. Let him run roughshod. Let him wreck every dude.
Or let him lose to John Cena or a Roman Reigns.
Yeah, make him vulnerable. There's something about him, but don't build him up as a tank. And then
multiple people proposed this on Twitter too, which I could see. They're like, what if they just did this to protect Roman Reigns? Because they knew if Roman went against The Fiend at WrestleMania, they would get that same kind of reaction that Roman was always getting, the boos. That he would be the bad guy in that match, and they want Roman to go over on somebody else.
Yeah, but if it's Roman Reigns versus Goldberg, they're going to get booed out of the stadium.
I don't care about that match.
No.
You know the selling point, spear.
Sure.
But, like, what else? Why do I care? Why should I?
No. Waiting.
Yeah. So maybe that's where we're going, but Bill Goldberg, I'm not even going to say just Goldberg because he's just Bill Goldberg now to me. I really don't care.
Billy G.
The dude's the Universal Champion. And that's all the WWE that I have for today. What about you?
We've spent way too much time on it, actually. I know.
I'm sorry, guys. This was supposed to be the AEW special.
We're 14 minutes in, and you could probably cut out 2.5 to 3 minutes of just stumped, like, mindless, like we're searching for words to try to describe it.
So let's get on with the show. The reason we're here.
Yes.
We're talking AEW. What's up, you AEW marks?
Yes.
If you like this idea, let us know on Twitter at PodOnTheMark. And we may do brand-specific shows in the future if you guys like this. What do you think?
We can. We just like to talk shop, and we're open.
We are open, as is the Overtime Sports Network. We're open. We're looking for positioning there. If you want to join us at otsportsnetwork.com and on Twitter at _OTSN. And also, we're on Instagram, Tuck.
Yeah, we are.
And I say us because me and you, part of OTSN.
Yeah, we are. Yep. What is the handle on Instagram?
At _OTSN. I just figured we'd keep it uniform,
Yep,
you know?
There you go.
Very simple. So shoot us a follow over there at _OTSN. Let's get into AEW Dynamite. Tucky, what did they start off this week's show with?
And what I thought was kind of an interesting booking, they went with Pac versus Kenny Omega in the Iron Man match. You can kind of book out 30 minutes right at the front of the show, which an Iron Man match on a 2-hour show, you're like, come on. Oh, wow.
Well, but with these two, I was kind of excited for it.
I was too. I think it lived up to the hype.
Well, the first 10 minutes was kind of like that feeling out process, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what you're going to get in these Iron Man matches. So the pace was slower, but it was setting up for this last 20 minutes where things started to get, insane. Multiple V triggers and all that. The Bucks were ringside. What did you think about the Bucks being there? I thought that was a little weird. I know they're a part of the Elite, but...
Well, I think they're trying to book the Young Bucks as like the goodies, like just great guys, super, the face of sportsmanship, to coin an IHSAA term, and to really kind of make Hangman. I think there's that angle with Hangman Hangman that they're looking at because he wasn't there.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't ringside supporting his tag team partner. But the thing that is interesting that you brought this up, like the Young Bucks are supposed to be like that pure babyface. I think it's kind of sketchy that they're being really nice right now.
Yeah, well,
I'm just saying, keep an eye on those two.
And they're in interviews and things like that. They're throwing out those subtle jabs where like we honestly thought it would be us. Like we know we're the best tag team in the world. So
they called Adam Hangman Page a jobber in Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
they said they're like, we've got you from being a jobber in ROH to here.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm just saying, keep an eye on the Young Bucks. They might do something.
Don't sleep on the Young Bucks
for sure. But
Saturday,
that first fall, that happened when Pac would bring out the chair. This was actually kind of smart because that weakens Kenny for the second fall.
As soon as he hit him, I was like, why would you take? And then I was like, oh, smart.
Yeah,
got it.
It actually makes a lot of sense. I'm surprised people don't do it often in like these kind of matches. But
yeah, good creative angle. Yeah,
right. And so he hit that Falcon Arrow through the table. That spot was absolutely insane.
Yeah, and an interesting because they got after it in Revolutions in like 72 hours from that point. It's like.
Yeah, Kenny's got a title defense.
Mm-hmm. Like a meaningful, like they're pushing that angle, and they got after it.
So this was their third match, I believe, that they've had. They had
right.
one at the last show, was it? Was it the last pay-per-view?
They went, yeah. Well, Kenny lost it all out.
Yeah, that's right.
Pac.
So yeah, so they definitely had their history. They had their chemistry, insane back and forth action throughout the entire match, and ended up going to sudden death. And I don't know if you saw my tweet, but every time I hear the word sudden death, I think of Dodgeball when White Goodman steps over there and he just goes, sudden death! And he just holds. So I tried to find that GIF and put it on Twitter. It wasn't there.
Yeah, you got to get specific with the search terms, and you got to kind of be vague when you're searching for the GIFs, so it's like, it's tough.
Right, yeah. So they went to the sudden death 1-1, but then Aubrey Edwards slides in to be the referee, and then it was kind of quick. Kenny got the win, but multiple V triggers. I mean, it was just that's what you want out of an Iron Man match right there.
Mm-hmm. Because the disdain for the Iron Man match is that they can't get sluggish. If the athletes aren't up to par with the conditioning, you have to build in breaks. But those two can go. Oh yeah.
And I think eventually they're going to start rolling the ball a little more with Pac because what he's doing every single time he goes out there. I think he's one of the best workers they got.
Yeah, and they really did reward him for such a great effort because he'll be facing Orange Cassidy at Revolution this Saturday. So
it's Orange Cassidy's first singles match.
And some people are saying,
he might try.
He might try. And then
I know we used to rip him, but it's kind of funny.
He's starting to grow. He's starting to grow. Well, and then again because it is so different. You don't see that anywhere.
There's nothing even remotely close to what he's like.
And
he might try. He might try. The chance for killing me.
And I'm excited to see. I don't really give him a shot, do you?
I don't, but what if he does decide to try and he's like really good? Like that's like the angle. Like
they're booking him into a corner. He actually has to be a good wrestler.
Well, that's a good excuse though. Yeah. They, like if he loses, he's like, I wasn't trying.
Yeah,
he can just stick his hands up and then put him right back in his. He's growing on me, Tuck.
Yes,
you got to admit.
Takes a brutalizer with his hands in his pocket.
Yikes!
It's sick.
Yeah, that would be. So after that, though, we would get the Inner Circle versus Jurassic Express. Even Scott Dawson of the Revival commented on this one on Twitter.
Yeah.
Wasn't textbook. The rules weren't really, enforced in this one, but I thought it was a really good and fun match. What did you think?
I enjoyed it as well. And if you're not, again, if there are title implications, if it's a big match on a pay-per-view, I want to see it kind of straight-laced. I want to see it. I want to see them tighten it up. I want to see the refs get after it. But, like the old adage in sports, they were letting them play.
Yeah,
not calling too many fouls, just letting them get after it, in and out, back and forth, and Luchasaurus comes out looking like a giant.
That's a guy that everybody in that group's entertaining. They're fun to watch. Jungle Boy, Marco's stunt, but Luchasaurus is everybody's guy where they're like he could be a world champion one day, and
he's in that Drew McIntyre-ish type area where like he can. If they decided to put the rocket on him, he could go. I do think, but they're, I don't think it's bad booking. Like Drew McIntyre, he was in and out of WWE. He had this journey,
reinvented himself.
He was the one, a future world champion, and then now it's been so long. But that same type of story where like he's good.
Yeah,
he's good, and they have a guy like him in their back pocket when they want to make a run, they can. And they're giving it time to build up. They're literally building a dinosaur man.
Oh, yeah.
And we love him.
And everybody does. Yeah. I don't know anybody that doesn't like Luchasaurus.
Right.
Nonetheless, the Jurassic Express. Just watching them work together, they're so innovative.
Marco Stunt has to go to sleep every night thanking God that Jurassic Express became a thing. Because him on his own is like...
Just think about that. Before AEW, he was
right. He was Marco Stunt, yeah.
Haven't you seen him in person?
Yeah, and he is smaller in person than he is.
He's smaller than me, right?
Dude, he's tiny. Bro, his head barely goes above the ropes.
Like, it's got to be, 5'2" or something?
Dude,
like I'm looking this up right as we speak.
Yes.
This is great podcasting right here to all 15 of you that are listening right now.
He's a short guy, but...
he's 5'2".
Mm-hmm.
120 pounds. When was the last time you were 120 pounds, Doug?
Maybe when I was 12. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking too.
I can hold weight. That's the thing I got going for me in Apocalypse. Like I got a little bit to burn.
You got a little bit to eat on. Yeah, for sure. He's 23 years old too. So, and his actual name is Marco. There's your fun fact right there.
I don't.
Marco Nelms.
Oh, okay. I was about to say like. I'd be more impressed if his last name was actually Stunt.
No, but Stunt makes a lot more sense for wrestling. It's not as fun when you're talking about Jurassic Express and Marco Nelms. No, that doesn't work.
Gosh.
But Jurassic Express gets a big win here against the Inner Circle. Who
is that the shirt I wear Saturday?
I was thinking that is the way you're going to go. Is that the route you're going?
I could wear my All Out shirt, I guess.
Yeah, you could. Are you going all day? I never really asked.
I don't really know. I
still don't know.
We're kind of. I think the plan is to head up a little bit early, but I don't know that we're gonna all day it.
Making me drive by myself over here.
We'll see.
I don't think it's that far of a drive. I looked on GPS. It was like 55 minutes, I think.
Yeah, it's not.
And that was me avoiding tolls because I don't have.
The thing about it is going to be parking.
Do they have a parking lot?
They do, but C2E2's up there too. So like, I got a warning shot email like. Be ready for parking. We can pay $100 for VIP parking.
No, I'm good. I'm going to pass on that.
They're pre-selling that.
It's going to be a no from me, dog.
Yeah, same.
What else was I going to say? It had to do with the show. Does it say 7 o'clock start or
6?
Oh, it's a 6.
Doors open at 5, 6 o'clock start.
So you think they're having like a quote-unquote pre-show?
They're going to have something. Yeah, just
is that
like
maybe where we get like SCU, Dark Order, and
Matt Hardy,
Orange Cassidy, and oh. Isn't it too soon for the match? I've seen a lot of that too.
Do you see his YouTube video and stuff?
I think he's just fucking with everyone.
Probably.
NXT offered him a deal.
Yeah, I know.
He's honestly probably deciding between the Wednesday night shows.
Yeah.
Where would you go if you're
AEW.
Matt Hardy?
Matt Hardy, I'd go.
He'd flourish there.
Well, look what they did with Jericho, and it's not Luke Harper. Like he's got some star power.
I know Harper. Is he just wrestling indies right now?
If he goes to AEW, you're excited, but you're not like, hell yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not pumped. Like, I'm like, Matt, oh, that's cool.
The thing is like, I don't know that Matt Hardy can go the way that Jericho still can.
No.
You know what I mean?
Not even close.
At least you know you're going to get something with Jericho, and his body is getting back.
Oh, yeah.
He's invested, so.
He definitely can still go, and he's probably got a couple more years. But Matt Hardy, I think just getting that character would be huge.
Yeah.
Especially with the Dark Order. I mean, could you just imagine, say we got Dark Order SCU, and then you just hear that, yes!
Oh, that's a pop.
That place would erupt, but
yep.
I don't see it. I just don't. It just doesn't seem like it's going to happen.
Are you a jaded fan where you're like, nah, that wouldn't happen?
No, I really don't think he's leaving WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is classic Matt Hardy, just playing games with the internet, having fun with it, and he's going to pop up on like NXT or something.
I'd be all right with that.
I mean, I would too, because NXT could use a few veterans, and why not a legend like Matt Hardy? I mean, you're going head-to-head, technically, with AEW, so I don't know. We'll see. But, yeah, after that, we would get the Butcher and the Blade versus the Best Friends. These are two teams that I just still haven't really invested any emotional stock into.
Right. I would be – Butcher and Blade seems to be right up my alley to like that edgy, like darker – but
it's like a lame Heavy Machinery.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Nobody's cooler than Heavy Machinery, you fucks.
I know you're a big fan.
Yes, but I'm in that same boat. I don't watch. I don't know. The personality doesn't really pop with Butcher and the Blade. They don't seem super sadistic.
Bunny is that personality.
But it's like, okay.
She's just an attractive female that does heel things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's virtually the gimmick. They're the henchmen, and, they're going against the Best Friends. So I don't hate. I think they're decent, but I just didn't like this match itself. I don't think it ever really took off. It never clicked for me. Best Friends get the win. That was cool between Orange Cassidy and the Bunny.
This is the best part of the match. It
was funny.
Yeah.
She went to go kick him in the nuts. He grabbed her.
Yeah.
She takes the sunglasses. He takes the bunny ears.
Yep.
Best Friends get the win. Any other thoughts?
And moving on.
We're moving on to Big Swole, Hikaru Shida versus Shanna and Yuka Sakazaki. Sakazaki. Sorry, I got that there. She's the one that dresses up like a genie. And JR even commented on that. Did you pick up on that?
Yeah, she looks like she's from Aladdin. Or like a generic Street Fighter character.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. But the action was nonstop. I mean, you got 4 women in there. This was kind of just... It wasn't a number 1 contenders match, but it definitely will help with the rankings and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Going into it, who did you think was going to win?
See, I was kind of leaning towards... I thought Shanna was going to win, but I didn't have a reason why.
Just because maybe they haven't utilized her yet?
Yeah, like, okay, cool, yeah.
I was thinking Big Swole was going to win just based on the fact that she had that stare down with... Nyla Rose the week before and Chris Statlander. I thought we were building maybe towards a triple threat there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that her winning this, her winning this would have put her in that.
Yeah.
No, she ate the pinfall here.
Mm-hmm.
Hikaru Shida getting another win.
All right.
I think Shida's probably the most talented out of all those 4 that were in that match.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
And she's the one we know a little bit about. So, I mean, nothing spectacular here.
The only, if you throw in Emmy Sakura in this match, and I think that really puts the chair.
What? Can we go one episode without you bringing up Emmy Sakura? I swear.
Nope.
We can go one show without hearing that name. I would be very happy with it.
I love her.
But no, that wasn't that bad, and it's probably going to help Shida in the long run, that's for sure. So keep an eye on her. Keep an eye on Britt Baker. Those are probably the 2 women that would be next in line if Nyla Rose were to retain.
Yes.
But, hey, we'll get to our predictions in just a little bit because the main segment here was the championship weigh-in between Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho. We had a legendary WCW announcer there. There was ring girls. Kind of had like that MMA type feel to it.
Yeah, AEW is not afraid to end a show without a match.
Yeah.
It's like a thing that they do, and I don't hate it. But also, if I have 2 screens going on, I'm much more prone to watch NXT if there's something popping off.
And wasn't Bianca and Charlotte going on this time?
Yeah, I think, but I did not. I fully invested in AEW, knowing our intentions with the show.
I didn't watch a minute of NXT,
no.
And that's not because of the show's purposes. Like, I literally watched Dynamite, talked to my girlfriend after Dynamite, went to bed.
Yeah.
Then I got home from work, watched Super Showdown. Unfortunately, didn't have time to watch NXT, so I don't even know what happened there. But I think if you had the head-to-head going on, you see the weigh-in, you see Charlotte Flair versus Bianca.
Yeah.
I might pay more attention to Charlotte Flair.
I think so too, yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I do like you said, the point that they like to differentiate themselves. And, you know, these weigh-ins aren't things that other pro wrestling companies do.
Yeah.
So they did it. Moxley weighed in at about 234 pounds. After that, the Inner Circle, of course.
Jericho never got weighed.
He never weighed in. He probably was a beefy boy. All that Jack Daniels. I think Aaron texted me. He goes, Jericho didn't weigh in because he probably weighs like 280.
Yeah, no. And weighing in at 238. Wow, look at that scale. Wow, he's looking great.
Yeah, no, but Inner Circle ends up taking out Moxley. Then we get Dustin Rhodes coming out for the save because he's feuding with Jake Hager, who's a part of the Inner Circle. You also get Darby Allin, who I think his theme song might be one of the best. Oh, we just fucking killed that right there. I don't know if they could hear me pounding on there.
It'll catch it.
Maybe it will. I could literally tell the new Amazon Echo that I have behind you to start playing that theme song. I bet you didn't notice that.
No.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Shout out to my grandma who passed away the other day. So I had to go there. That's the only reason I have it. I had to, Todd.
Well, I send my condolences, but there's no way for me to back up that.
Hey guys, my grandma died this week. See, this is how I cope. Some people cope, in other ways.
Yeah.
I kind of just, got to power through.
Yeah. That's
the weigh-in happened. Dustin Rhodes, Darby Allin come for the save there. I think it was a good way to end the show.
Yeah.
With Revolution being Saturday, but kind of felt like it maybe lagged a bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I agree. Between that, the 30-minute Iron Man match, the show was okay. It was
last week was way better.
Oh yeah, I agree. But I'm excited.
Yeah, and I think that's what they wanted out of that final segment. They're like, what's a good way to get everybody excited for Saturday? Not like they didn't already do a great job the week before, because that was kind of Cody's time, because we didn't really get anything on screen of Cody and MJF. This week. We just got the video package, but you got Dustin and Jake Hager fighting in the pavilion outside, and I think it was a good way to end the show for sure. But I think I'm going to have to watch – I'm definitely going to watch it, but I'm going to have to watch NXT this week because I think there might be a chance they could be the head-to-head winner.
It could be, yeah.
Once again, AEW wasn't bad. It was good, but hey.
I've got to run through the tape again, too, with NXT. A lot of work to do.
What stuff did you catch from NXT? I mean, I saw a little bit.
It was just on in the background, but I just didn't want to miss a beat with AEW. So it's like that happened, and there was the other one thing that they did that too. And
yeah, because you got one show that's building towards a pay-per-view Saturday, and the other's wait until WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
Which one are you going to watch? I didn't even see the ratings. Did you see the ratings?
Nope.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. But, yeah, that's our talk from AEW Dynamite this week. We're going to preview and predict AEW Revolution. Tuck, where are we going to be for AEW Revolution?
We will be at the Wintrust Arena in Chicago,
Illinois.
Yes, I do have the ratings if you'd like them.
Yeah, let's hear it.
AEW 865,000. NXT, your guess?
I'd say 670.
717.
That's actually better than I thought.
For the first time ever, AEW won every single demographic. Mm-hmm.
That's not surprising. Once again, the go-home show.
On the heels of a hyped and piped pay-per-view.
And I think if AEW Dynamite ran on Thursday nights, we would have got a lot more viewers after Super Showdown.
Yeah.
This is only going, and I know that sounds weird to say and petty maybe a little bit, but I think Super Showdown helps AEW Revolution this Saturday. I think we get more pay-per-view buys than they've ever had.
Yeah, I'm going to check. Those people that were on the fence are like, I'm kind of sticking away from it. I don't know. That's a good way to turn a guy or a consumer off. Just, nope. I know I have it out there. It's easily accessible. I can get that every week. So
you just got to cough up $50. Which
AEW's in a good spot.
Hey, if you're a younger kid, you don't have enough money, just go into your parents' purse, go into their wallet, steal some money.
Yeah.
Actually, you're going to need their credit card.
Right. Steal their credit card.
Steal their credit card information. And then
Get on their laptop where it's already like auto loaded.
Oh, yeah.
That's not it. That's just like the computer let me do it, Dad.
Right. Or you get the credit card. You text me or Tuck what that credit card number is, just in case we need to buy something.
Make sure we have the 3-digit on the back.
Right, yeah.
Maybe possibly a billing
your social
address.
security number.
Yeah, if you just wanted to text us a picture of the ID too, just to have, just help us help you.
We'll give you a spot on the show if you do that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just throwing that out there. AEW Revolution this Saturday. Let's get into our preview and predictions. The first match we're going to talk about here is SCU.
Okay, no feedback. We'll
versus the Dark Order. Tucky, I'll let you go first, and we will alternate going first, so we are, not always piggybacking.
Sure. Yeah, the Dark Order is going to win this one.
Is that it?
That's all I got. I think I don't know how they would, if they took a loss. I don't know how you prolong the angle. I do think something's going to pop. I
was going to say, are we getting
the
a debut?
They mentioned the Exalted One.
Is that Christopher Daniels?
Is it Matt Hardy? They want you to think. I think AEW, whether they know or not, like if it's actually in the book, they love that Matt Hardy's piping up a little bit. But I do. The Exalted One will be there, and maybe that means that SCU gets the win and makes them look even stronger. But SCU doesn't need it. The Dark Order kind of does at this point. So Dark Order is going to take the dub.
Yeah, Dark Order. I don't even think they've had a match in months.
No.
I can't tell you the last time they wrestled. It might have been against SCU.
Could have been.
And SCU was the first ever AEW Tag Team Champions. So they got their due. SCU is now going to start descending a little bit down the card, I'm assuming, probably putting people over.
Yep.
Let's put over the Dark Order. It's this, new cult-like thing. And I think it's got legs, especially if we can figure out who that last person is. So I'm going to agree with you.
I just hope it's somebody I know.
Lance Archer? I don't really know much about that guy. Did you hear about that signing?
Yeah, I don't know him.
Yeah. Can I turn on a light real quick?
You can.
Dark in here. Talking about the Dark.
Yeah, so the Dark Order does have a website. I haven't. I've checked it out.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see the number of hits that website's actually got. I think it's lower than what you'd think, probably.
Probably more than OTSportsNetwork.com.
Come on now.
I mean, come on. Nobody's blogging right now.
Jesus
Christ.
Somebody
blog for me. Damn it.
Blog, damn it.
Blog for me. It could be about wrestling. You're listening to this. You probably like wrestling. You might like to write. Shoot me a DM.
Yeah.
Let's do it. After that, Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara.
Did you pick Dark Order?
Yeah, I picked the Dark Order. I'll go first here. Honestly, this is tough for me. I think Sammy Guevara needs this win more because the Inner Circle and him specifically, I feel like has been looking a little weak.
Mm-hmm.
They really don't have much momentum other than just being around Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Sammy gets the win by cheating. But I think Darby Allin right now is one of the best things they got going for them. He gets some of the loudest reactions and everything. The coffin drop's great. The cue cards are a nice little touch.
Mm-hmm.
I think my safe pick here is Darby Allin.
Yeah, with much of the Inner Circle being tied up, I'm actually going to go with Sammy Guevara to let Santana and Ortiz get a run in. He actually clubs him with the sock ball thing.
With the skateboard.
Yeah, which was definitely rigged.
How dare you? It's professional wrestling. And
he didn't ride it down the ramp. Come on, make me believe.
That's true. I didn't even notice that.
Right. He ran down to the ring with it.
Okay, fine. It was rigged.
So Sammy Guevara's going to get the win, and this leaves Darby Allin in a little bit of a rivalry.
With the Inner Circle?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think eventually this is all leading to like an Inner Circle versus
the world
baby faces.
Yeah.
Like maybe Cody gets involved in that because obviously Dustin's a part of it right now with Jake Hager. But no, I can totally see it. But I'm going to go with Darby. You're going to go with Sammy here.
Yep.
So finally, we're differing. AEW predictions.
Yeah, there we go.
Good to see. After that, Jake Hager, another member of the Inner Circle, taking on Dustin Rhodes. It is your turn to go first here, Tucky.
I think Jake Hager wins it. I think they've piped him up too long. They need him to come out looking strong in his debut. So that's where I'm going with that.
Some companies would, I don't know how old Dustin Rhodes is, would put a 53-year-old man
yeah.
Over in this situation, but other companies wouldn't. And I don't think AEW is going to put Dustin Rhodes over Jake Hager. Like you said, this is his first match with AEW.
Well, Dustin knows how to work.
Yeah.
And it's a safe spot putting Jake Hager with him. You can make him look strong. He's got that ring guidance. Not that Jake Hager is some chump, but first match in AEW, here's how we're going to do things. Young pup, and there we go.
I would say this is the biggest lock you could have on the card.
I would agree.
Out of all those matches, Jake Hager going over Dustin Rhodes. I'd be very surprised if Dustin gets the win here, because where do you go with Jake Hager after that?
Right.
It's all about making sense here, people. We're looking at the long term. Jake Hager more than Dustin Rhodes, so I'm also going to pick Jake Hager to win this one. So that's another one we're on the same page about.
Yeah.
After that, Nyla Rose, the new women's champion, versus Chris Statlander. An interesting matchup here, Tucky.
I agree.
Is it my turn to go first?
It is.
Oh, jeez. I was trying to throw that on you. Did you notice that?
Yep.
I'm going to go with Nyla Rose just based on the fact that she just recently won.
Yep, I agree.
And only off that reasoning.
That's the same thing for me. Nyla Rose gets the dub, pipe her up.
I think we kind of rushed the Chris Statlander thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they were doing a good job at introducing us to her, giving her matches where she looked strong. She's had some of the better matches in the women's division. And
yeah.
All right, here you go. Revolution. It's your time.
Welcome.
I could have done with a Britt Baker here. What's
Yeah,
Britt doing this weekend?
I think they want her to go more long term. I don't know.
Britt?
Yeah.
Like a long reign, or just
build her a little bit longer, yeah.
Yeah, that's true, because her heel persona is kind of new. But, I mean, would you be surprised if Chris Statlander won?
I would.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised. I wouldn't be hyped up, jacked up about it, because that women's division's kind of the shits, but...
the only thing really holding them back right now.
Honestly.
And it's not terrible, it's just not good.
Right.
If you're comparing it to NXT, I mean,
yeah.
There's no comparison whatsoever. But Nyla Rose to retain. That's what me and Tucky are going with here at AEW Revolution. The next three matches I definitely would say are probably the matches that everybody's looking forward to the most. One of those being Kenny Omega and Hangman Page, the champions, taking on the Young Bucks. We've had a lot of build toward this match. A lot of story going between Hangman and Kenny Omega. How do you see this one panning out?
I think the Young Bucks are going to win. And yeah. I think this is where Hangman gets his departure. He breaks off. Hangman starts throttling up towards the top to get at Jon Moxley. If that were to happen.
Oh, no spoilers, huh?
Nope.
That does seem obvious, right?
Yeah.
The way they've been building towards, you think a split's going to happen between Page and Omega, but I'm not going to predict it, but I said it earlier. The Young Bucks are kind of sketchy right now. Yeah. Imagine them pulling the trigger and just completely making the Young Bucks snap.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Elite is dead. The Young Bucks are these bad boys now.
A newfangled NWO. Hulk Hogan comes back.
Yeah. The Fiend shows up because he's so disgruntled about, losing to Goldberg.
Here's your twist. Matt Hardy shows up, but it's not with the Dark Order. It's with the Young Bucks.
And the Fiend.
Yes.
And they create this new broken universe.
The newer World Order.
The Broken Bucks.
Enter WO.
Okay. It's long. It's a long story build right there. Yep. So you have the Young Bucks winning, as do I. I think it's the most logical thing here because Hangman and Kenny aren't really a true team. I don't know if this is exactly when, Adam Page turns, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Because that seems very obvious that would happen here, but maybe an accidental hit here and there like they've been doing. And then eventually he snaps on a dynamite or something like that. But it would even be a cool thing if Kenny turned. What if Kenny turns here?
I wouldn't believe it.
I think it'd be pretty cool if Kenny does.
I do think so too, to make him kind of a baddie, but he's just so straight up, right?
Yeah.
A good man.
He's just the wrestling god.
Yeah.
In AEW for sure. So I don't know. Yeah, I do think the Young Bucks are going to win. The initial core of AEW, the Young Bucks and Cody, they were kind of that first movement of this company.
Yep.
They really haven't been in the title picture that much amongst a few matches here and there, but I think we've put them off enough now, and they can hold the gold.
Here we go.
So, yeah, we're both going with the Young Bucks to be the new AEW Tag Team Champions, which leads us to Cody Rhodes versus MJF, arguably the best build to a match that we have seen in the past year.
Yeah.
This one's a tough one to pick.
Mm-hmm. And you get to go first.
And I get to go first. Fuck. Once again, I was going to throw that on you. Be like, so tell us what you got, Todd.
Yeah.
This is me thinking.
Dum, dum,
This
dum,
is
dum, dum,
MJF.
dum, dum, dum,
I think I told you what I'm picking. You don't have to do the Jeopardy.
Sorry, I had to finish it.
MJF. I think it has more legs for the future. If Cody wins here, where does MJF go from there?
The Dark Order.
Jesus Christ. I think MJF already has the most heat in AEW. You know, a way to get him more heat, he beats Cody Rhodes at Revolution.
Yep.
Cody's the golden boy.
On the After the Bell podcast, Kevin Nash talked about a heel. And a heel is kind of like a hot air balloon. And the more heat in a hot air balloon, the higher it flies, you know.
Ooh, I like
so
that.
So it was a good I like that interview. It was a good analogy.
I listened to it.
Yeah.
So did you listen to this today with
no
Johnny and Ron Funches?
No, and now I'm running out of time because AEW's got a podcast out too.
Oh yeah, that's true. Who's it with? Tony Schiavone and
Aubrey,
yeah,
Edwards. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with MJF, and maybe this is where we start that inner circle versus babyface thing.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Cody can, help out the babyfaces. It's Cody, Darby, Dustin, and a fourth.
Kenny after
yeah.
a breakup. I don't know.
I also think Wardlow can make his presence known here.
Yeah,
we know that he'll be there.
Well, Arn Anderson's going to give him a spine buster. Cody's going to win.
Yeah?
Yeah. I just think, dude, they put Cody through so many trials to get here. Like,
yeah.
And he gets to MJF. Again, this is great booking. Because if MJF wins, you're like, holy shit, that heel is hot.
Yeah.
But if Cody wins, it's the satisfying end to that chapter. We move on to the next one. Or you start a different type of thing, but like, I don't know. After everything he's been through, could still be hurt.
Yeah.
After that, the moonsault off the cage.
The lashings that he took the week before that.
Yeah. Cage match, lashings. Cobb. Did he face Jeff Cobb? He's the one that faced Jeff Cobb?
No. Moxley's the one that faced Jeff Cobb.
Oh, because he was a
Which Cobb, I think, might get involved in. He might help Sammy Guevara win, honestly.
Oh, that could be
what
another
if Cobb's
one, yeah.
like another Inner Circle guy? So that's a person to keep an eye on for sure at this pay-per-view.
Well, they just came out with a new Inner Circle shirt. His face wasn't on it, so.
I think they have a new song, too. I don't know.
Like an Inner Circle song?
Yeah, like
we're the Inner Circle.
No, damn it.
Okay.
There was like the new theme when they came out in that 6-man. I don't know.
I missed it.
Go check it out when you can. I think maybe I just never noticed it.
I wonder what the people think about that Cody MJF match too. I think if you ran a poll on that, I think it'd be pretty split. Or do you think a lot of people would pick Cody?
People would pick?
Yeah.
Marks on the internet would say Cody.
Yeah.
But like people like us that we're experts at this,
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like I put in a lot of hours and hard sweat and tears.
Hard sweat and tears.
Yeah,
Jesus,
that's a thing now.
Is it?
MJF is my pick.
All right,
and I'm the smart wrestling Mark.
You came in the last show.
So about that, yeah. But I did win the Royal Rumble random.
Yeah, you. Way to go, Kyle.
My luck is strong. Big fella.
You actually came out because you ended up netting like $80 and you lost so you owed 2 drinks. So
I ended up giving Aaron a blizzard instead, like I said.
Yeah, that's a solid
I still
move.
owe you a drink though.
Yeah.
Main event: Chris Jericho, the AEW champion, versus the challenger, formerly known as Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley.
That's pretty good.
That's the Justin Roberts when he used to do John Cena.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So he does it with Jon Moxley now.
There you go.
You get to go first. The main event, definitely for Revolution. Who?
This one's tough.
It is.
It's going to be a good one. I think it's time for Moxley to take the strap. I'm ready for it. What do you do if he loses?
You have another one.
Another one.
Another one next week on Dynamite.
I guess. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. I think it's Moxley's time.
Yeah.
you strike when the iron's hot. I mean, they did it. They didn't do it with the Fiend. They had to redo it.
Idiots.
What was it? Was that a Super Showdown too?
Yeah. No, Hell in a Cell. Seth
No,
Rollins.
he didn't win at Hell in a Cell.
Right.
He won at the Saudi show. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. So they had to
yeah.
redo it and strike soon
Yeah.
because they realized the fans were behind this person.
Yeah.
Everybody right now is behind Jon Moxley.
Right.
Like, this is Moxley's time. He was one of the biggest gets, one of the first guys really to jump ship from WWE openly to AEW.
And a lot of those WWE guys better be patting him on the back because they're getting cashed. Like they're locking up all those men and women to long-term deals because they don't want to lose them to AEW the way
true.
Dean Ambrose or John
And
Moxley,
Jericho.
Dean Ambrose, Jericho.
Yeah.
They lost those big too, and they're like, it's
Sean
not happening
Spears,
again.
huge loss.
I mean,
How do you survive
what,
without...
how do you have a pay-per-view card and he's not on it? That's the real question. Dark Order, Exalted One, people are asking.
I think you're the only one asking. You fairly confident with this, or this is more of a toss-up, just going with Moxley?
No, I feel pretty confident.
Will you be openly cheering for Jon Moxley at Revolution?
Yes.
I feel like we got to sing Jericho's.
Well, yeah.
You better learn the lyrics.
You can.
You are beautiful on the inside. There it is.
Yeah.
You are innocence personified. There, you kind of got it. Yeah.
I'm there a little bit.
You're getting
Yeah.
there. So, all right, we'll have to bust that out. But I wouldn't be surprised if Jericho won.
Well, it's like every time Paul Heyman comes out, you yell Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
You're not like on his team or side, but you're like Adam Cole comes out, whether you want him to win or lose, you're gonna say boom, you're gonna say baby. Yes. So there you go.
So Jon Moxley for Tucky, Jon Moxley for me. We both will be in attendance. This will be my second AEW official event. This will be your third.
Yeah. All Out, Dynamite, and Revolution.
Scale of 1 to 10. How excited are you to be in attendance for AEW Revolution?
I'm at about 8.5 or a 9. You know, I'm very excited. I think it's going to be a good card. They're hyping it up. I don't know that. I was very excited with All Out, but I didn't know many of the people.
Yeah, now you actually have some investment.
There's some investment. I think I was actually more excited for All Out because I've never been.
True.
And I'm still excited. I was nervous. We jumped on those tickets
Early.
but the Dynamite show happened, and we were like, "Oh no!" But
We're kind of dreading it.
But AEW's on the come up. They're hot.
We're back in. Super Showdown kind of helps a little bit, getting me excited for this. I had a rough week before it, but
It was a great week for Super Showdown to happen because we had there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
so yeah, Saturday. Honestly, I shouldn't even be saying this because if you're listening to this show, you're probably an AEW fan, but you should purchase that pay-per-view.
Oh yeah,
If you got nothing going on Saturday, tune in, watch it. If not, I believe, and hopefully I don't get sued for this or anything, but watchwrestling.in on the interwebs.
You've heard that.
Yeah, I don't own it or anything.
Right.
I'm just saying I believe watchwrestling.in
Not
is
sponsored.
the spot. Not sponsored, but if they want to sponsor us.
But again, get a couple buddies together, have them Venmo you $10, get some pizza. We're not
What's
afraid to
$50?
do that. Bro,
I've personally bought them for myself just to keep them on my
we
DVR.
we went to a movie and spent $50 this week. So it happens,
And that's why I don't go to the movie theaters, Tuck.
I know it.
And that's why instead of going to the movie theaters, I buy tickets to go to AEW Revolution.
Speaking of tickets, rumors are swirling about the Couts High School baseball pancake breakfast. We have a raffle. Rumor has it that there will be 2 SmackDown tickets raffled.
To the SmackDown that we're going to?
Yes, they're not our tickets.
I was going to say, are you raffling my spot right now?
I am not. No, they're. I'm actually trying to hook them up and get $20 nosebleeds in 216, hoping that whoever gets those tickets gets the come up and gets the bump down like we did.
Did happen to us.
Because there's no other shows that weekend, I do think it'll be relatively packed on the way to WrestleMania, but you never know.
The road to WrestleMania is here, but we don't give a crap about that because that was the OTM AEW special.
There you go. Wrapping it up. Make sure you follow myself at JimTuck89 on Twitter. Follow the show at Pot on the Mark on Twitter. And if you want to follow Kyle at Too Sweet Kyle, Too Sweet. We're we're getting the bends. We're getting all that together. Don't forget to check out otsportsnetwork.com and @_OTSN on Twitter. Until the next time we see you, we will have a new AEW champion.
Wow, bold.
We know that we'll see the Exalted One. Matt Hardy, probably not.
Sean Spears.
More likely, but hopefully not. Christopher Daniels, I don't know. There's a lot of stories to come together, and then we will be 7 days removed from the unbearable Goldberg booking.
Hopefully we're feeling better by then.
Yes. So until next time, thank you for listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the On the Mark Podcast.
Brock Lesnar going for an F5 to Cena for the championship. Lesnar with the cover.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. For more information and updates, make sure to follow us on Twitter @PodOnTheMark.